Hey guys, it's Michael Scott Hollash, and today I'm at the Hillsborough Memorial Park here in Tampa, Florida. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful memorial park that they built here. It's been here for some time, but they've recently have reworked all the roads in here and put in some new memorials. There's a small indoor museum and a lot of specimens from the different wars, U.S. militarized equipment. And that's what brings us here today. Gonna be reviewing this beautiful specimen, the World War II Stuart light tank. And you couldn't get any better of a display specimen than this. Obviously, it's missing its light armament because it's an outdoor display. But gonna give you guys a little bit of background on this piece of machinery. There were several variations of this tank produced between the years of 1941 and 1944. A little trivia on the tank: it was named after the famous Confederate General J.E.B. Stuart, which gives it the name the Stuart tank. No video gives it much justice. It's a pretty small piece, but man, it's a great example. These were actually the first tanks crewed by Americans to engage enemy tanks in World War II. And that was probably due to them being small, compact, light, and easy to get on the beaches. These were used in all campaigns of World War II. They were used in Africa. They were used in Europe, all throughout Europe, and they were also used in the Pacific until they were placed a little bit later on. Some specs on this tank. Several American manufacturers made these. General Motors was a primary one. The Cadillac division of General Motors also made these. And believe it or not, Massey Harris, the tractor manufacturer, also made some of these. Let's see, I want to say there were just under 23,000 of these actually manufactured between all of the makers. The M3 and M5s combined, I think they made just under 23,000 of these tanks. So they were made in large numbers. In that 4-year span of 41 to 44. This one, let's see, yeah, here we go. They weighed approximately 34,000 pounds total weight. Again, they were considered a light tank, so they had just under a ½ inch of armor all the way around. The sides, the back would be pretty vulnerable. The front end of it would be its heaviest armor. That'd be approximately about 2 to 2.5 inches of armor in the front end. These were actually crewed, believe it or not, by 4 men. You'd have a driver here on the front. You would have a driver. You'd have an assistant driver, which would actually be a machine gunner. And on the top, you would have the tank commander and a gunner. There were multiple variations of this tank. This one had up here on the turret, had a 37-inch, a 37 millimeter main gun. And this one also would have had 2 Browning 30 calibers. Like I said, there would be a machine gunner in this compartment here, and this piece here would be a Browning 30 caliber, and there would have been a Browning 30 up here on top of the turret, and those would have been belt-fed machine guns. These were very fast and highly maneuverable tanks. They ran on twin Cadillac Series 42 engines, which gave them approximately 220 horsepower at 3,400 RPM. Its top out speed on the road was 36 miles per hour. Now obviously, this thing is heavy enough to chew up asphalt, chew up concrete. So as you can see, this one has an example of it. These pads here on the tracks are a configuration to keep the cleats of the tracks from tearing up asphalt. So that would have been a road configuration where this one could run on asphalt. These had a great service record against enemy light tanks, such as the Panzer III, the Japanese Type 95s. These were pretty successful. These were very ineffective and would do nothing against enemy heavy tanks such as the German Tigers. These would do absolutely nothing. In fact, our Shermans were pretty ineffective against the Tiger tanks. It would take, a handful of Sherman tanks, 2 to 3, to maneuver. Usually one or two of those would get blown up, and a third one would attempt to maneuver behind the Tiger to hit it in its only vulnerable spot for that size tank, which was the rear of the Tiger tank. That was its lightest armament. So again, these with a 37 millimeter gun would do nothing against the armament of a heavy tank. But again, for a light tank, these had a phenomenal service record, and this is just a beautiful specimen. So again, this is the Stuart light tank, U.S. World War II primary light tank. All right, guys, that's it. Have a good day.